from Denmark, where children sleep outside on the streets in their baby carriages, where it rains on average 197 days a year, and former home for the Vikings. Denmark is located in the northern part of Europe, bordering only with Germany to the south and to Sweden, through a bridge though, to the east. My name is Simon Berkal. I'm 23 years old and currently working for Siemens Gamesa, one of the largest wind turbine manufacturers in the world, but I'll get back to that. This country is approximately 228 times smaller than the United States and home for 5.7 million citizens, and even more pigs. We have more bicycles than cars, and with more than 1100 islands, where 434 of them are named, we have the most coastlines in the world. Oh, and of course, Greenland and the Faroe Islands belongs to us. We don't have any mountains at all, and One World Trade Center is 3 times taller than our Møllehøj Hill, which is the highest point in Denmark. 170 meters above the ocean. This is 560 feet. Yes, we use the metric system. Denmark has the oldest monarch in the world, as well as the oldest flag still in use. Our Dannebroge fell from the sky during a battle in Estonia in 1219, 273 years before Christopher Columbus arrived over there, as we call it, over here. We have a very long history, but history is history, and let's focus more on our current life. Have you ever seen those plastic pieces before? I bet you have. It's Lego. Lego is from Denmark and comes from the words leg godt, meaning play well. What else are we known for? Vestas, another big wind turbine manufacturer. Maersk, ships with containers. Bluetooth comes from an old Danish king, or at least the name does. And even the Opera House in Sydney. Yeah, Sydney. Well, it was just designed by a Dane, but still cool. You may also be familiar with Niels Bohr, or maybe Hans Christian Andersen, who is father to The Little Mermaid, The Snow Queen, The Ugly Duckling, and 3,387 other works. Selvom dansk er vores modersprog, så kan vi også godt snakke engelsk. About 86% of the Danish population speaks English. We have one of the most economically and socially developed countries in the world and are ranked as the least corrupt. Does that sound good? Yeah. We have also been ranked the happiest country quite a few times. And some of the reasons for this are free healthcare, which we use about 11.2% of our global GDP on. We also have free education, also for college, while you even get paid around $1,000 from the government, so you can focus on studying. We also have about a 37-hour work week for everybody, with a minimum wage of $20. This of course doesn't come by itself, but with one of the highest incomes in the world, we also pay the highest taxes of almost and even more than 40% of our income goes to taxes. Cars are more than 3 times as expensive as in the United States because of taxes, so you get the idea. Just to mention one of the controversial things, we don't have guns in Denmark. Or actually we do, but only for hunting. There are no semi or full automatic rifles, or even any handguns here, except for the police carrying them around sometimes. To get a shotgun or rifle for hunting, you have to go through intensive training, have a very safe in your house to store it, and you can only bring it with you to and from a hunt. Marijuana is legal, but you will not get arrested carrying a little bit around, or even smoking it in public. Weird? Yeah. Alcohol is a huge part of the Danish culture, which may also be why we say we are so happy. I don't know. It is legal for anyone at any age to drink alcohol. You have to be 16 years old to buy beer and other low alcoholic beverages, while you have to be 18 to buy stronger alcohol. You also have to be 18 to enter clubs and bars and purchase from here. But you are allowed to drink anywhere at any time. No, I'm not gonna drink this. It's 8 in the morning here. Just don't drive. And we don't drive when we drink, because we have a lot of public transportation, which more people use together with their bicycle than they use a car. Remember the expensive cars? Our national sport is football. Wait, what? Did I just say football? Oh yes, I did. In Europe, this is football. What you call football is for us American football. And what we call football, you call soccer. We have won the European Championship once in 1992, and that is our biggest accomplishment. Sports for us is almost like with you Americans. We watch it, we like it, and we use it to socialize. And also have a beer. Speaking of drinking again, let's talk about food. We like fast food, just as you do. Everybody likes fast food. We're also getting more and more busy in our daily lives, and fast food is slowly becoming a go-to place for dinner. It is not as common as in America yet though. We do still like to make our own food with fresh products. There's always a way available in stores. A lot of our vegetables comes from Denmark, and as Denmark isn't so big, a lot of it is very fresh. The Danish official national dish is crispy pork with potatoes and parsley sauce. Or as it is called in Danish, stegt flæsk med persillesauce. I had to have this picture with the Danish flag as well, even though it's not so pretty. Other popular local foods are frikadeller or meatballs. We also eat a lot of rye bread. I would say we eat as much rye bread as you eat white bread in America. It's very common here. Smørrebrød is also very popular. It's rye bread with butter and different toppings made from meat, fish, cheese or spreads. This is actually the basis of our normal sandwich. A slice of two of what we call pålæg, or topping in English, and then decorate it with some tasty things. We have a lot of foods, and I even believe there's a whole Wikipedia page about it if you want to read more. Let's talk religion. Denmark has been a Christian country since around the year 965, hundreds of years before anyone thought of the United States of America. Today, 75.9% of Danes are Christians, or at least members of the church, and the big reason for this is because of tradition. Most churches in Denmark are almost empty on Sundays now, which is weird considering the amount of Christians. Why? Because the church hasn't changed for hundreds and hundreds of years. Most of churches in Denmark was built before the United States was even a country. They are still standing today. When we are named, or call it baptized in Denmark, we are less than a year old. When we turn about 13, we have a class in school called Priest. We attend this class to learn about the Bible, to learn about God and Jesus, and have to attend church at least 10 times that year. When this is done, we have what we call a confirmation, where we confirm that we believe in the Christianity. The problem today is that most teenagers doing this is doing it because of the party that are held after the confirmation. It's a big party with friends and family, and it involves a lot of presents and money. Now when we're baptized as very young, we become a member of the church, and when turning 18 and you start paying taxes, you automatically pay about 1% of your income, depending on where you live in Denmark, in church taxes. This way you are welcome to get married in church, get your children baptized and get buried. So the reason for the high amount of members of the church is because you're automatically enrolled and you do not really feel that you're paying this little amount. Not a lot of people spend time in church, and no one that I know is doing it. I've been showing some images here from my church, both from the inside and outside. It's very unique and pretty and really different to most American churches. My church was built in the year 1100. That's 918 years ago, and that's the church we're still using. I was told to do this video in about 3 minutes, but I don't think that's realistic anymore. But you know, time flies when you're having fun, right? I hope you're enjoying this as well as I'm enjoying it. I will run through some last quick things here before leaving you with Dennis again. And if you have any questions about anything, please don't hesitate to ask. I will answer the best as I can. I'm sure Dennis will be helpful if you want to get in touch with me, either via email or whatever you're using. Alright, quick! I wanted to ask you about music, but obviously I can't hear your answers, as this is just a video. Maybe some Danish artists you know? I'm gonna try to mention them. We have a lady called Mø, or Mo, as it's called in English. Lucas Graham is getting bigger and bigger in the US. Kashmir? Maybe you know Volbeat? You gotta know Metallica. Well, Metallica is not Danish, but Lars Ulrich, who's the drummer in Metallica, is Danish, and we're very proud of that. In Denmark we don't have any dangerous animals to look out for. No snakes, no bears, no poisonous spiders. We also don't have any natural disasters. We don't get earthquakes because of our location. No big hurricanes, no tornadoes at all. Sometimes places get flooded, but it's not too bad. We also have a term called hygge, which may require some more time to explain, so I'll leave that up to you. Last but not least, as I started with, I told you I would come back with the wind turbines. As I told you, I work at Siemens Gamesa Renewable Energy. This company started as Siemens Wind Power, which was started in Denmark. Now we merged with Gamesa from Spain, and we're ready to install turbines all over the world. But Denmark is actually number one when it comes to wind energy, not only in producing the wind turbines, but also getting the power from the wind. We have a lot of turbines in Denmark. And in general, the Danish infrastructure is amazing. Both the infrastructure on the roads, the railways, the buses, the internet connection, and especially electricity. Our electricity is online on the grid 99.99% of the time, and I cannot remember or recall when any place I was at, my home or stores or anywhere, have been out of power. Denmark has the highest wind share in the world, and currently we get 42% of our electricity from wind. We are still relying on fossil fuels, which will hopefully soon have an end. I've heard we will be off the fossil fuels in about 2030. Actually, this Christmas, 110% of our electricity in Denmark was produced from wind turbines. That's amazing. Well, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed, and have a wonderful day.